Hi Saber fans, Scarecrow here with my latest build. Today we've got a Maverick by Solo's Hold. In the book I Jedi, Corran Horn built a lightsaber from a speeder bike handle and other found parts. And Solo's Hold wanted to recreate this, bring it to life, and did a wonderful job capturing the look and feel of this saber. It really does look like a speeder bike handle. And since this had a history of being a scrap saber, I decided it was a great candidate for some heavy weathering. So I went ahead and did everything that you'd expect to see on a used speeder bike handle. Nicks and dings from being hit with debris at high speeds, and more of a wear pattern towards the trigger section. And after that, I came back, I rusted it up. I wanted it to look like it had been stuck in the muck for a while. So I did some heavy rusting effects on it. Well, it's actual rust, not just effects. And then after that, I came back, cleaned it up like you would if you were going to repurpose something. And then I sealed and neutralized all the rust, so there's no worry about it rubbing off on other props or your hands or your costumes or anything like that. It's not going anywhere. So on the inside of this saber, I decided that a Prizm 5.1 would be a good fit. I had a few reasons for it. One of which is, in the book, the blade is silver. So I figured it'd be easier to use some color mixing for achieving that, as opposed to trying to go with like a white and a blue or something like that. Also, you can alternate different flash on clash colors, do different things with it. And I did use a red, green, royal blue LED in this for mixing, so you got the nice purples and things like that. Also, this wasn't a candidate for a big dual cell battery. Unfortunately, it's just not big enough. It's a small one-handed saber, but I did manage to get an 18650 in there, which paired with a Prizm, you get a nice long run time out of that. It's pretty much the best battery you can get for it. And I did use the Solo's Hold 10 amp high drain battery for that, so there's no worries about it being cut off on a flash and clash or anything. It's got a high cutoff PCB in there. So, and the last reason I went with the Prizm on this is it now has a deep sleep mode that used to be found in the older boards, or the lower boards like the Nano Biscotti, things like that. But they finally did put it on the Prizm, and I figured that was great because, as you can see, that's quite a bit of threading on there. So inside, just have to tap it, basically give it a little nudge, and the chassis comes out. On the inside, it is a Goth 3 Designs chassis. I modified it in a few different ways. I prefer the bass speaker over the standard Railmaster speakers whenever I can fit them. So I looked at it and decided I could do it, and went ahead and put the bass speaker in that. So I also modified it to take this little micro JST port here, because it is a Prizm color mixing. You're going to want to have rice access on this so that you can dial in your colors. And I will include an adapter for this. One end's just a standard rice port. You plug into your rice cable, and the other fits right in there. And your SD access is right here. And if you notice, it wants to spring back. I use mil-spec wire and everything. It's very stiff. So once it gets somewhere, it wants to spring right back. But it's fine. You've got plenty of clearance there to get to the SD card. Make sure that's in there. Yeah. So I've also got a twist kill key on this one. Let's see. There we go. It was actually in deep sleep mode. I had to twist it around a few times. I put a purple power on LED in this, and it is wired to the deep sleep pad. So whenever the saber goes in deep sleep, you won't have the power on LED draining the battery. And I think it can stay in deep sleep mode for about a year. But obviously you have no runtime after that. But there we are. I also left some of the speakers, or excuse me, some of the wires exposed, just to kind of give it a more basic look. Normally I'm a psycho perfectionist on everything, but I figured this is a scrap saber, and that was built in a hurry. So get this back on there. Easiest way is just spin it out like this. Like I said, there is a lot of threading on there. Come on. There we go. And fire this thing up for you. On the right is the activation switch. Sounds really good the way this thing is ported out. I like it a lot. You can see the vents there for the speaker, and the bass speaker is literally sitting right behind that. So this comes with the 3 stock fonts for the Prizm. It's also got 10 color profiles. I dialed in kind of a silvery, whitish color for the first color profile, so that's on there. Also, this comes with the Dark Side Engineering limited edition blade plug. He did this especially for this run. It's a really cool kind of shredder type blade plug in there. All in all, this is becoming one of my favorite sabers, really. It's great one-handed. It's really good for smaller hands too. If you have somebody in there who wants to do some one-handed styles, this would be perfect for it. It's got a nice deep blade socket in there as well, so you can see. I did notice that the Vader's Vault blade was tight. It's probably going to need to be sanded to get in there. I have a Starlight blade from sabers.com, and that seemed to fit perfectly. So uses a 5/64 Allen wrench because it's solus hold. Everything's made in America. So I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next build here real soon. Thanks again.